I'm standing in our living room, my wife's furious voice ringing in my ears, as she screams at me to get out of the house, to leave her alone, and I'm wondering how it all came to this. My wife and I have been married for almost 3 years now, and I thought we had a good thing going. We met, fell in love, and got married, surrounded by our friends and family. But there's one major issue that's been plaguing our relationship from the start: my wife's problems with my parents. She used to snoop through my phone when I'd leave it unattended, and every time she did, she'd find something that would set her off. It was always something related to my conversations with my mom. She was convinced that my parents favored my older brother, that they treated him and his girlfriend better than us. She'd say that my mom would constantly talk about my brother's accomplishments, but never ask her about her own family. My mom can be a bit much sometimes. She's very talkative and doesn't always think before she speaks. She means well, but sometimes her words can be hurtful. I've tried to explain this to my wife, to tell her that my mom doesn't mean to be malicious, that she's just a little thoughtless. But my wife won't have it. She's convinced that my mom is out to get her, that she's trying to drive a wedge between us. I remember the day after our wedding, we went to visit my parents at their Airbnb. My mom asked us how much money we'd received in gifts, and when we told her, she said, "That's it?" My dad immediately jumped in, telling her to stop, but I just stood there, frozen. I know now that I should have said something, should have stood up for my wife. But I've grown up with my mom's antics, I'm used to just rolling my eyes and ignoring her. But my wife can't do that. She takes everything my mom says to heart, and it's been eating away at her for years. Ever since that incident, she's lost all respect for my mom. And I don't blame her. I know my mom doesn't mean to be hurtful, but she is, and it's causing tension in our marriage. I've tried to talk to my wife about it, to reassure her that my mom doesn't mean anything by it. But she won't listen. She just gets angry, and we end up in these huge fights. I've tried to distance myself from my parents, to limit our interactions. We only talk about once every 2 weeks now, and even then, it's just a quick hello. But my wife still finds ways to bring it up. She'll be doing something, like taking a shower, and suddenly she'll start thinking about my mom, and it'll send her into a spiral. She'll get upset, and then we'll have these long, drawn-out conversations about my mom, and how she's so hurtful. It's the same thing every time. My wife will get angry, and then she'll kick me out of the house, telling me she needs space. Sometimes she wants me to listen, to just sit there and absorb her anger. Other times, she wants me to solve the problem, to fix everything. But I don't know how. I've tried to talk to my mom, to tell her how her words are affecting us. I've even taken my wife to couples therapy, but that didn't work out. My wife decided she didn't want to go anymore, and now we're just stuck in this cycle of anger and resentment. My wife will say things like, "You care more about your mom than me." And she's even told our therapist that I have a Freudian relationship with my mom, that I'm a mama's boy. But I don't think that's true. I mean, I only talk to my mom once every 2 weeks, and even then, I'm not really listening to what she's saying. I'm just going through the motions. I hate that we talk about my mom so much. I'd rather do anything than have these conversations, but my wife always brings it up. And now, I'm standing here, wondering how to fix this. How do I make my wife happy? How do I stop these fights from happening? I feel like I'm stuck in the middle, like I'm being pulled in 2 different directions. The other day, my mom texted me, asking how I was doing, and my wife saw the messages. She started bringing up all the old wounds, all the times my mom had hurt her. And I just stood there, listening, feeling helpless. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm losing my wife, like she's slipping away from me. And then, it happened. My wife's anger boiled over, and she screamed at me to get out. I stood there, frozen, as she yelled at me, her words cutting deep. I felt like I was being torn apart, like I was being forced to choose between my wife and my mom. As I walked out of the house, I couldn't help but wonder how it had all come to this. How had my mom's thoughtless words caused so much pain? How had our marriage become so entangled in this web of resentment and anger? I don't know what the future holds, but I know I need to find a way to fix this. I need to find a way to make my wife happy, to stop these fights from happening. But as I stand here, reflecting on everything that's happened, I'm left with one question: am I the one who's wrong, or is my wife's anger justified? Was I right to stand up for my mom, or should I have taken my wife's side? The answer: I'm not so sure. But one thing is certain, something needs to change. Are you on my wife's side, or do you think I'm the one who's being wronged?
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop your verdict in the comments below, subscribe for new stories every single day, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one.